Overall, the past few weeks for the crypto market have been absolutely fantastic, with many coins starting to recover from the big drops they saw a few months ago. One of the coins though that was lagging behind was Cardano, ADA Coin. And recently, over the past 2 days, it is finally seeing the light and starting to move in the right direction. So today we're going to be performing the usual technical analysis we do and make some predictions on where we can expect to see Cardano go in the near future. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. We're once again looking at Cardano's ADA coin. We're going to be performing technical analysis using various indicators in order to make some price predictions over the next few days, weeks and months. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. We cover crypto, investing, stocks and wealth management. I'd also love to know your thoughts on the Cardano project and on ADA coin down in the comment section below. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into the computer and start today's analysis. Welcome into CoinSpot, guys. If you're looking to buy Cardano's ADA coin or looking to buy any other cryptocurrencies, there's a link down in the description of today's video in order to sign up. But let's take a look at Cardano, and the last time we took a look at this was at the end of last month, roughly the 29th of July, and since then we have started to see some action, but only over the past couple of days. You can see that we are now seeing a nice little bit of a pump in the coin. Buying is coming in. You can see that volume is really starting to turn up the heat over the past few days, and now we're sitting at $2.48 Australian. Literally just changed then from 49 cents, but $2.48 Australian. I'm going to go now to the daily chart just so you guys can get a gauge of exactly what's going on. So I suppose our most recent dip got down to that mark at $1.43. We saw that in the last video, and then when we left off last video we were sitting, roughly around $1.80. So since that point, let's just put a little marker in. Let's see exactly how far we have come. As you can see, it was a slow incremental increase over a span of about 2 weeks, but then over the past 2 days, as we just saw on the hourly chart, that's when we had our massive pump, going from effectively $2.05 on the first day all the way up to that massive $2.51 mark, which is really, really good news. So let's just remove that now that we've seen what's happened since. Obviously, it's, I suppose, catching up a little bit, and that's what I was getting at the start of the video. We're really catching up compared to many other coins. Looking at the volume as well, when you put it in perspective of what was occurring, last July, last sort of, June, all that sort of time period, the volume isn't actually as large as what we just saw. It's quite deceiving on the hourly chart. If I zoom in even more, you can see, yeah, it's a bit higher than normal, but it's not crazy. So that's actually quite interesting, and I suppose indicates not a lot of trading itself is going on. It's more that we are seeing a bit of buying come back, a bit of better sentiment in the overall market. So let's just chuck in some key things. Well, I think the first most important thing to take note of is we're currently sitting at a very critical point. We're sitting at our key resistance point, which is roughly, $2.48, exactly where we're sitting. So we've tested that point. Looks like we bounced slightly off it. We went over to 252, but it's come back down now to that 248, 247 mark. Now that is absolutely fine, but let's say if we bounce off this, where could we be dropping down to? Let's find our key support point. As we drop it down, you'll find our key support point right now is at exactly the $2 mark, as we spoke about in our last video. That was our target for our last video, the $2 mark. It busted through it, which is absolutely fantastic, and now that previous resistance is going to act as a new level of support for us. So great news there. Whilst I don't think we'll be heading straight down there, I think we might see over the next day or two a bit more of a test to see if we can break this $2.48 mark. I do think that it is relatively solid if we do head in that direction. What's really exciting is the target after the $2.48 point is realistically blue sky. We have seen, I suppose, a bit of action occur in the past, going all the way up to, let's have a look at our high, $3.26. And realistically, maybe the next point of resistance where there's been a bit of price action is probably $2.68 roughly, but I don't think there's going to be much of a struggle to get past there. So once we break through this resistance point we're currently sitting at, we're off and we're going to be testing that and hopefully making new highs very, very shortly after. But let's bring in a few more indicators to see exactly what is going on with this coin. So first and foremost, let's bring our moving averages in. We're going to be bringing in our 20-day moving average. We're going to be bringing in as well our 50-day and our 200-day moving averages right now. So we're just placing these, get them in there. Here we go. And I'll tell you exactly what's occurring with those. One very important thing that has just occurred is a golden cross, and I'm just circling that on the screen, and that occurred at roughly $1.79, and it was when the 20-day moving average passed above the 50-day moving average. So that 20-day moving average is now sitting at $1.91 and the 50 days sitting at $1.83. So really good stuff there, and something that is great as well is neither of these two moving averages dropped below the 200-day moving average at all, which was sitting at $1.69 as of right now. So really good stuff there, and I think these two lines are going to act as really key points of support coming up to $2 mark. That is going to be a very, very strong point for holders. So really good stuff there. We're looking very, very good. This golden cross is effectively telling us that we have changed direction of our trend. You can see the last cross that occurred was the 20-day below the 50-day, and that was back in the 15th of the 6th, and it was at $2.14, and it was a death cross. So that's something we don't want to see. This is the opposite, something we do want to see, that shift of momentum changing back to more buyers than sellers. So obviously we're going to be going up in value. Great stuff there. Now let's just get rid of all of these now. Let's have a look at the MACD. I'm sure it's pretty obvious what you can expect to see. Massive big pump up. Actually, something that is interesting is we did, spike since, I suppose we've converged since the 24th of the 7th and continued that, then peaked at the 30th of the 7th, came back down, and then started to pick back up obviously over the past week or so as the coin started to garner a bit more strength. So Cardano doing really, really well in that aspect. We have shot up really high, so I wouldn't be surprised if on our next indicator, the relative strength index, what we see is we are overbought, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We're out of the 30 to 70 band range. We're currently sitting at right now 81.35, so definitely overbought. Has this occurred in the past? For this coin, not really. Many others it has. The last time this occurred was when we hit our peak, but I think what we've really seen is obviously we hit the point of being oversold, and people have seen this as a fantastic buying opportunity for Cardano, obviously moving up, and all that buying that's occurred over the past few weeks has resulted us in moving towards the top end of that band. And then obviously when we did break through the resistance, it happened to be when we're at the top of the RSI. So as a result, we have moved into the overbought range. But as I say, interestingly enough, this isn't off the back of huge volume. Whilst yes, it is more significant than usual, it's still not an insane amount. So overall, I think the RSI is going to come down. We're probably going to trade in a bit of a flag pattern, because what we're going to see is a consolidation. So let me just draw that out for you. A flag pattern in this sort of a manner. I think we're going to use this top resistance point really as our key point for the flagpole to come off, and we'll see something in this sort of a manner occur. I think it's gonna last maybe, you know, 1, maybe 2 weeks potentially. I don't think there's, I suppose, enough space for the RSI to cool down, but who am I to say? It is possible for us to, I suppose, beat all the indicators. That's the thing with charting, guys. It's never a crystal ball. It's all down to interpretation. Should be used as a tool to help you when you are trading or investing in whether it be cryptos, stocks, forex, or absolutely anything else. Use it as a guide, use it as a tool in your repertoire to be able to make some more educated decisions on exactly where we'll be moving. But yes, as you can see, a flag pattern would be in this sort of a format. Alternatively, we may see a pennant in this sort of a sense if it really is getting to the pointy end of things and the, I suppose, values wanting to move up in that sort of direction. Or we might see that this top point, this key point of resistance at $2.48 is the top end of our flag. So we'd be moving potentially in a direction such as this and then eventually break out. These are all possible scenarios that I think are likely to occur. Obviously one of them is going to occur, not multiple, but they're the most likely scenarios for us. But overall, Cardano looking really good. As I say, first target break through that $2.48 point. Then we're hopefully moving towards, you know, that, I suppose, last point of resistance, which is sitting at $2.68. Worst case scenario, we're going back down to test our new support at $2 Australian. That wraps up today's analysis on Cardano's ADA coin, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Remember to leave a thumbs up if that is the case. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. I'd love to know your thoughts, as I mentioned at the start of the video, on Cardano's project as well as the ADA coin itself. But without any further ado, I'll let you go, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.